Let us all resonate the Om through our entire body. It's pronounced as A, O, and then silence. Okay? So say with me. And the entire body should resonate. Make it a full throated one. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Relax your bodies a little bit. Wherever there are little tensions, let go of them. And close your eyes. We are going to trick our minds into believing that it is doing something when it is not doing anything. The trick we are going to do is to make it a receiver. So close your eyes and keep your awareness at the throat center. And just listen to the sounds outside of you and inside of you. The sound of the fans, the sound of the clicking of the clock, ticking of the clock. Now I am going to put some thoughts in your mind. They are going to help you. Listen to them carefully and repeat them silently in your mind. I am happy and contented here and now. I am being taken care of every minute. By the supreme light of consciousness existing in my heart as a sense of I. I have plenty of energy. I am happy. I have much love to share with others. I have an abundance of creativity. Everything that I want comes to me easily. I have the power to direct my thoughts in desirable ways. I use my power in caring for others. I enjoy my life and I am a source of enjoyment for others. I am free, really free to be myself. I am friends with the world and myself. I am good. I am free. I am strong. I am attractive. And I am prosperous. I love everyone. Everyone loves me. My life is worthwhile. And others appreciate this fact. May all be happy, free, strong, attractive, loving, caring, as I am. So be it, so it is. I now count down from 5 to 0 and slowly become aware of the environment around you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes. 0. Become aware of the environment around you. Okay. We have put the seeds of growth in you, and we recognize them to be the seeds for creating the right kind of environment in which a new world can come into existence. A new world full of happiness and joy, free from strife and violence and aggression. Now, we'll spend some time now. So far we have been discussing some positive attitudes, positive ideas which create the right kind of mood in you. Now we have got to understand where we are, accept that situation, and move from where we are to where we want to be. Our negative emotions do exist. They are parts of us. They are our children. We got to love them for what they are. I cannot lock up my child, misbehaving child in a room and expect that he will go away. In the same way, my negative attitudes and negative ideas which have been generated by myself, by my thinking, or I bought them from somebody, from the environment around, and made them my own. So these things do exist. We have got to deal with them. If we suppress these negative attitudes, they are not going to go away. They are going to stay with us. If you push dirt under the carpet, the dirt is not going to go away. If you express these negative ideas towards the world, then you are hurting the environment. So expression is not good, suppression is not good. What are the ways left? You can neither express your negative attitudes nor can you suppress them. What can you do about them? Fortunately, technology comes to our aid. Tantra comes to our aid. You don't have an IBM computer, you have a Mac computer, but you want to run some programs of IBM on your Mac computer. So you generate what is called an emulator or a simulator, an IBM simulator on a Mac computer. So you can run all your IBM programs using the system that you have got. So the simulation is the via between, in halfway between expression and suppression. So you are neither expressing it nor are you suppressing it. So this way of dealing with your negative emotions or positive emotions is a symbolic way of dealing with them. You have so much love that you want to share with everyone, but the world won't allow you to do that. So what do? So invent the most beautiful idol that you can think of and pour out all your love towards that. You are angry with somebody, you are hurt, you are injured, and you want to hurt that person badly. So what do? Buy yourself the boxing gloves and pretend that that is the person whom you are hurting and take it out on the symbol. Both these are the technology, the tantra of the skillfully dealing with your emotions, which do not hurt yourself because you are expressing them. They are not hurting the world because you are not expressing them on the world. You are working on a symbol. So, as Sanskrit saying goes, Paroksha Priyaha Evahi Devaha. The gods are pleased when you express it symbolically. There are various kinds of symbols. The letters are symbols. The alphabets are mantras. They are the sound forms. The words which you form out of these alphabets, they are symbols. The sentences are symbols. These are all sound symbols. The music is a symbol of your expression of your happiness. Or expressions of various rasas, various moods. Shrungara, Veera, Karuna, Adbhuta, Hasya, of your erotic sentiment, of your happiness, of your anger, of your jealousy, of your sadness. These are all the moods which you express through your music. The forms are symbols. If you want to show somebody who does not know what the moon is, you tell that person, look behind that branch there, what you see there is the moon. So the branch is not the moon, but through that you can come to know the moon. The branch is the address where you can find the contents. The address is a symbol of the contents. There could be direct addressing, indirect addressing. There are different degrees of symbolisms. You can have a word, a mantra, an affirmation as a symbol to deal with your emotions, or you can have a picture or a combination of these two, a movie. Right? That's also a symbol. You can have pictorial symbols, like the Chinese language. Or you can have symbols which are abstract. A straight line, a slanted line, a horizontal line, vertical line. There are some people who put horizontal lines, vibhutis, and there are some people who put vertical lines. There is always fight between the horizontal and the vertical. The Shaivites and the Vaishnavites. But you are all the time working with the symbols. These abstract symbols are more powerful than the direct symbols. Indirect addressing is more powerful than direct addressing. It admits of various kinds of mappings take place. So a geometrical abstraction, a diagram, is much more powerful as a centering device than, for example, a human figure. But we can more easily relate to a living symbol than to a symbol which does not express itself. But as I told you yesterday, your consciousness, your awareness is like a lens, magnifying glass. Whatever you focus it on grows for you. When you focus it on a triangle, then this triangle grows for you. You may have a very small triangle to start with. It can become big because your attention is on that. It may start moving around. It may start circling. It may start rotating. It may start expanding and contracting. It may appear like a white line against dark background, or a dark line against white background. It can change colors. It can exhibit life in so many ways. And it can act as a channel for communication. You may be able to see through that triangle so many things. There are so many things that can be associated with the triangles, and all these things are mapped into that. And the richness of this mapping is what lends strength to the geometrical form. So the abstractions, the theorems, the condensed expressions of the laws of nature, they are so much more powerful, the invariants. So these are all symbols. Let's work on this triangle. What are all the things that the triangle brings to your mind? Relationships. Triangular relations. One husband, one wife, and a girlfriend. the two eyes and the center. The mouth and the two eyes. The two breasts and the genitals. All these are triangles. So there are so many things which you can map into that triangle. And every one of them is
a prism.
Huh? A prism, yes, a pyramid. So these there are different kinds of symbols. There are some people who like to work with something similar to themselves. If I am a human being, I would like to think of God as a human being. If I am a cockroach, I would like to think of God as a cockroach because I can relate to it. If I am a triangle, I would like to think of God as a triangle, not as a pentagon. Or pentagon is somebody else. I would like to make love to that pentagon. So, we can think of the symbols in terms of a living symbol. For example, as we have said, this body is a temple. A temple is a symbol of where God lives. So you can accept anything as a symbol and work with that symbol, provided that symbol relates to you in an easy, understanding, communicative, appreciating, validating way. Now, there are some people, a large class of people who say that you should not have negative thoughts at all.